This is Tiger Turbulence hosting a Heritage Round Hot Seat special with a very special guest. I'd like to welcome a 300-game player who's won an Ekka in season 17, has 3 All-SFAs, season 18, 19 and 20, has won a premiership with the Furies in season 20, and a Destroy medal, 2 Mobs medals, a TFLU Tigers award. Whew, that's a few awards. And the best of all, the Furies' biggest award, the Claw of Fame in season 24. Welcome, Wacky Tiger. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. Thanks, Tiger Turbo, for having me. Yeah.
Tiger Turbo, you've played over 100 games with me. Don't you know my name?
Tiger Turbulence.
You've been on the piss already.
We've just been talking for fucking an hour, so I should have got that right.
You've been on the goon.
Actually, in true heritage fashion, I can't remember anything, so you are going to have to remind me a lot of this stuff.
Do you still drink goon?
I do, yeah, no, I love it. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I like mine. What do you make yours out of? Potatoes?
Beetroot.
Beetroot. Ah, that explains your colour of urine.
It does.
Righto. Now, Wacky, you started in season 17 with the Furies.
I did.
How did you get into the SFA?
Once again, I really can't remember.
It's going to be a great show, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be fucking fantastic. I initially signed with the Demons before, there must have been that off season, and then the tradesman actually dragged me across to the Furies before I'd even played a game. I think I might have played a pre-season game for the Demons, but he jumped across to my PMs and said, "Look, we got a Tigers-based Fury side over here. Do you want to come over?" And me, not knowing anything about anything, said, "Yep, that'd be great." So jumped straight over to the Furies.
And you made a good choice, you reckon?
Ah, fantastic. Yes. Yep. No, good. Very happy with my decision.
When you turned up at your first day at the Hippodrome and you pulled on the Furies jumper, you ran out and played your game to get your first game against the Demons. Now, my question was going to be, do you remember that, your first game? What was it like? But I'm not too sure you'll actually remember. So make something up for me, can you?
Yeah.
Just make something up. What was your first... Well, say it again. Now, the first day you got to put on the Furies jumper and run out of the Hippodrome against the Demons, what was it like?
It was excellent. I can remember it like it was yesterday. No, to be honest, I probably wasn't very present for the first 5 or 6 games of that season, I don't think. I just remember getting notifications from all these random posters I've never heard of before. So
Yeah.
I think I had a look before. I think I kicked the goal in my second game against the Hawks and seemed pretty excited by that. But no, the first half of that first season was a bit of a blur. I didn't know much of what was going on. Probably still don't with the Sweet FA, if I'm totally honest. But yeah.
You in your time have seen quite a few of these rebrands in terms of, new badges and that. Probably not as drastic as the last few seasons, but, the emblems, the tiger images and that all getting changed. Have you checked out the latest current one?
I've been informed that there's been a change lately. It's is that one that Warner Brothers have got the rights to? Or
No, they've moved on from that.
That was the old one, right? Oh, there you go. Yes, I heard it's terrible, but I can't say who told me that.
Righto. The Furies have lost a lot of players. Like in your time, that there's a lot of people come, a lot of people go, and about 3 seasons ago, the Furies had a bit of an exodus. Now they're building themselves back up again and doing quite a good job. But, still shy of probably that 2 or 3 good players. With your knowledge of players, the Furies of the past, if you could resurrect one of those former Furies, put them into the team at their former posting glory, who would you inject back into the team and why?
Quite simply, and I'm just going to have a look, he's not on the list, Fumbler.
Fumbler, yes.
Fumbler was the best thing that happened to the Furies. I don't know that there's too many people out there that can understand it. I think I'm still only one of the very few that speaks fluent Fumblerese.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I could bring anyone back to help resurrect the Furies, if that's what they require, the Fumbler would be the man.
He was a very funny poster.
He was batshit crazy, but I think that was the best thing about him.
Right. Now, you took over the Furies in season 19 from Fumbler. And
Yes.
Tigland, it would have been. I think there's
Yep.
two captain at the time. And you won the Mobs medal yourself that season and were the interchange in the All SFA. So you did the right thing as captain. You took all the glory, obviously.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I got moved into the coveted ruck rover spot halfway through my my debut season there, and once stayed in there. I think I must have won one of the Mobs. And when you took over captain, a long story short, I was actually going to pass on the my position in the side in the middle over to one of their young and up and comers, Haight, who had just come onto the scene in season 18. It must have been, and he went and done a dirty on us and joined the NWA Dragons that next year. So I was sort of a little bit lost and decided, I'll just leave myself in the middle there.
I'll just grab prime positions and get all the awards.
Exactly, yeah. Why not? I'll win another one. That's how they go.
Now, when you took over captaincy, you got 6 wins in a row, and then the wheels fell off, as happens to all new captains, and you lost 5 in a row. And at that time, there's some questions about your captaincy. You were rated 7th in the G-Dubs captain rankings. How do you think you went as captain?
Look, I think Captain Copy Paste was my name. I wasn't one that used to enjoy changing the side too much. Mainly for fear of getting the team sheet wrong. I really didn't want to miss a game through through a suspension.
Yeah.
But look, I think at the time I would have been quite happy to be sacked. I believe I did sack Wacky handle at the time. I'm pretty sure that got up to number 2 on the Big 40 boards too. So
that was a real thing for the Furies for a while there. That any time a captain had to go, they were sacked. They were thrown out.
We really went back to our Richmond roots with the old sacking of the captain coaches.
When there's no form, you just sack the coach.
Yeah. But no, look, I was definitely more an on-field leader than an off-field leader. I could get the Qooty and do something with it. So we I can't remember. We must have played finals that year, but wasn't the best start.
You've got to play alongside Tarkin 24.
Yes.
Is he the kicking god that he makes out he is?
He's pretty good. Yeah. Yep. He'll tell you that too.
Yeah. Do you reckon he's better than Okie Doke?
Oh yeah, shit yeah. Yep. And Okie Doke will tell you he was better. But no, Tark's definitely had the advantage over Okie Doke, I think.
Well, he's got size on him for a start.
He does. Yeah. Yep. Although both are great men, I've enjoyed playing both with and against both of them. So, but I'd have Tarks on the top there. I think he was in the Furies team of the century there at one point, or team of 20 years, or whatever we did. So it was a sad day when Tarks went back to the Demons, or wherever he went. I can't remember where he went.
Oh, just make it up. He'll be good. Now, talking about
went to Swamp Rats.
We'll talk about going places. You went to the Hawks for season 21 and 22, and then come back to the Furies, obviously. But why did you go to the Hawks?
So we just won the flag in season 20. I'd won a couple of Mobs medals. Had done everything that I'd sort of set out to do in only about 4 seasons. So I was after a bit of a challenge at the time, and the Hawks were really struggling. I think we'd played a game against them that year where they might have had 2 active posters in the game thread. So they definitely needed some help, and I approached Oki at the time and said, look, I'm looking for a new challenge, and I see the Hawks are sort of needing some posters, and he said to me it'd be a great idea, and that he'd also mentioned that I think Filthy Filthy and Pants were looking at doing something somewhere, so perhaps we could all jump in together and try and revive the Hawks. So yeah, we all jumped in and had a go there for a couple of years. But I soon realised that the heart was definitely at the Furies. Whilst I had a good time there, I was quick smart back to the Furies as soon as I could.
Now, in your time and in the SFA, what's the biggest controversy you've seen?
Oh, it's going to stretch the brain again. I mean, probably when they sacked Harrowlad or kicked Harrowlad off the site for leaking Star Wars. From the Star Wars movie, he leaked what happened in the Star Wars movie, which seemed to upset a few in the boys' club. So I'm sure there was more to it, but that seemed to be pretty big at the time.
Is that when you got perma-banned? He got perma-banned.
Yeah. He got perma-banned. Yeah.
Well, he's
there
back
was an
again.
ongoing.
You know, he's back
again. I have seen that he's back again. Yep. And I enjoyed Harrow's time actually. He was quite entertaining, but that really did rub a few up the wrong way. So that was probably the biggest controversy I think in my time.
Now, if you could turn back time on the SFA, is there anything you'd bring back?
Fumbler.
Yeah.
I love State of Origin as well.
Oh,
not
yeah.
Sure they're still doing. I'm not sure they're still doing that, but that was good fun. I'd probably bring back the State of Origin.
So you were South Australian.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I reckon we won a couple of titles there.
In season 18, you played in the grand final against the Demons, and you were the Mobs medalist that year. So, arguably the best player in the SFA, and yet we were benched for the whole fucking game. So who did you upset? Where was the problem there?
Well, so I think Mother Russia was our coach at the time, and she obviously took offence to something I was doing, and decided to put me on the bench. It probably wasn't the greatest move in hindsight. Brought me back on with about 5 minutes to go when we were about 6 goals down. So it, that one hurt a little bit, especially losing to the Demons. Sort of had a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Demons back then. So
you can pretty well hold responsibility that you're the best player in the comp and you didn't contribute to the team and you lost.
Well, I think I won the TFL, what the fuck it is, TLUFA.
Yeah.
That one. I think I won that one that year as well, and the Mobs, and it was a strange decision from Mother Russia, but you do get strange decisions from Mother Russia.
Well, in the season 20 grand final, you got to play the Demons again and win. So what was the switch there? What changed?
Well, I think, again, the memory is hazy, but I reckon Tarks might have kicked a few goals that day. He was probably unlucky not to win the best on ground, but...
who won that one by any chance?
Oh, I had to go back and check. Like I said, a lot of this is really, really fuzzy, and I can't quite remember. I went back in the thread, and I've just liked all the posts that I had in there. Not just my posts, everyone's posts. So if you do get a notification, that's me just going back and checking that game. But no, I must have had 30, 33 and 3 goals or something that day, so I had a reasonable day. But I think really it all came down to the Demons and their crazy decision to bench Smarty's bench, or Smarty's power. We used to call him Smarty's bench because of that game. But
Smarty's bench.
Yep. I don't think he's ever lived that one down. I'm a big fan of Smarty's bench anyway.
So basically he lost it for the Demons in season 20.
He did, yep. Right. Hate to see it, but...
Now, out of the opposition players you've come up against, who are the ones that over the seasons that you really like? You never played in the same side with them, but you love coming up against them.
I think by far Broken was my favourite. He was an excellent poster, and he would very historic. He would stay on the game. He would banter about Qooty a lot, which was great. So I really enjoyed him. I enjoyed Fitzroy Bowie Dog, or whatever his name was, Fitzroy Bulldog. We had some great matchups and always good fun against him. Smarty's Bench was another one, obviously, from the story before. Clark M, I enjoyed posting against Clark M. I don't think a lot of people liked him from the Wonders, but he was always good fun.
I don't think anything's changed.
No, well, probably not. Is he still involved?
Yeah, he's still there.
He must have clicked over his 1,000th game or something. He's been there since fucking day one. So, look, and Pants Kyle was sometimes entertaining.
He's still up and about.
He is, of course, he is. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming on the show. And before I say goodbye, I'd like to hear your predictions for this week's games. So, the Heritage Round. So, who do you think's going to win between the Royals against the Warriors?
I'm gonna base this on my memory of what these teams were. So,
yep.
Frankston Rover, he's probably one I should have mentioned before. I enjoy posting against him. So I will tip the Warriors for Frankston Rover.
Righto. Phoenix or the Hawks versus the Bombers?
So who the hell are the Phoenix?
The Hawks.
Versus the Bombers. Oh, we'll go the Hawks for old time's sake.
So you're not a fan of the rebrand Hawks to Phoenix?
No. I'm a historian, so I have had a look at the new Furies logo. I wouldn't have done that. No, I think that one of the important things about the Sweet FA is the history. So no, I would have much preferred they stay the Hawks. Although I must say I did enjoy the Westeros Dire Wolves, which were there for I think a season, which was another one.
Righto. Demons versus Wonders.
Oh shit.
Yeah, arch nemesis of Demons.
No, I dislike both sides. Can they both lose?
Make it a draw.
But then they get points.
Okay.
Is Tart still at the Demons?
Well, I think so. I'd have to look it up, but more than likely.
I'll tip the Demons just because Tarks might be there.
Righto. Furies Gumbies.
Oh, well, Furies. Yeah,
that's a no-brainer, isn't it? Swamp Rats Roys.
Oh, so the Roys were always very irrelevant when I was playing. Yeah, okay. So nothing much has changed. I like the Swamp. I'll go the Swamp Rats, I reckon.
Righto. Bears Dragons.
I dislike the Dragons, so we'll go the Bears. Is Broken at the Bears still, or is he gone off into the sunset?
No, he's still posting too, so very good.
Go the Bears.
All right, so we have for this week's games, it's going to be the Warriors, the Hawks, the Demons, the Furies, the Swamp Rats and the Bears. So if you're betting, put all your money on that. You can't lose. You can't lose. Righto, Wacky. Thanks very much for coming on, mate, and sharing some memories with us. Really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me, Turbo, and good luck with the old boys for the remainder of the season.
This is Tiger Turbulence making it hotter in the SFA.